Hello everyone and welcome to round 3 of Formula Aero. We are back here for another round, this time in Abu Dhabi, to get started nearly the halfway point of the first half of the season. I am joined as always by Mr. Shamrock. How's it going?
I'm doing good, Gaff. Hopefully you're keeping well. Yeah, we are into round 3 of the season. We had a very exciting race last week in Qatar. Hopefully this one in Abu Dhabi will just be as exciting as FA2 was on Monday night.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, as you're probably well aware, a lot of brand new faces on the grid tonight. Lots of drivers either dropping out or just completely unavailable tonight, as Caden decides to take out the braking boards down into turn 6 there. Very sportsmanlike of him. A load of new faces, few drivers now, full-time drivers, few reserves coming up from FA2, and a few new faces as well coming into the season. But it's going to be Caden Conway to get us underway here in his return to league racing, and hopefully he has a decent lap to start us off. If you want to take it away, Shamrock, I'll try and get Nathan back into the session there quickly, and you take us on this lap.
Yeah, so he was just getting his tyres up to temperature there, and obviously he had a difficult race last week in Qatar, I think only lasting a few laps, but let's see how he does now. That's in the past. Takes turn 1 pretty nicely, gets on the power using a bit of battery, and then usually this is a difficult part of the track, but he has mastered it, getting a lot of curb. And the rundown now to this, obviously this famous corner where Max Verstappen overtook Hamilton in 2021. Getting on the power again, nice and early. And then going up through the gears. Another one of this straight that is a good overtaking opportunity. Probably where we're going to see loads of overtakes made tonight. He's really pushing the track limits for this first lap. I'd say only an inch of his car was still on the track there, but nevertheless the second DRS overtaking opportunity now, as the McLaren getting out of the way of him there, and sets a good middle sector. So looking like a pretty clean, solid lap here for Caden Conway to the start of the session. Seeing now what he can do as he's going to come through the hotel section. A bit oversteery on the rear end of the car there. That's going to really unsettle his lap here. But if he can finish it out strong, it should still be a good lap. He's used all of his battery now as he comes around the final quarter. Caden Conway will set a 122.2 for the V-carb there.
Yep, so a decent lap, and Quiet Boy, he had to back out of his lap there. It's an Alpine next across the line of WTEC. Vinny goes second fastest with a 23.7. Of course, last night's fastest time was set, of course, by myself as a 23.2, so already well beaten there by Caden. But one of the drivers that should probably beat that is the driver I'm riding on board with currently, Leo. He, in practice anyway, setting 22 flats, so he should have a little bit more pace in it, as Orabang invalidates on the final corner there. Next across the line, FaZe Monkey, he is invalidated. A few people struggling to get a lap on the board. M Stowe goes second with a 22.5, and Shano to the line now with a 23.7 to go fourth fastest.
Yeah, that's not a bad lap from Shano, a 23.7, best of the rest in terms of the 23s for the time being. That's really good from him. Obviously he does like Abu Dhabi from what I've heard from him, so we can kind of expect him to hopefully put in a good performance.
Yep, as ST comes to the line with a 23.5, so that's gone just ahead of Shano as best of the rest so far. FaZe Monkey, or not FaZe Monkey, one of the other ORBs, I think. It's Caden just coming back into the pits, followed then by John's Boy finally setting his lap now, and it's a 24.1, the slowest of them all so far. And then it's going to be one of the Ferraris, and it's our championship leader, Ricky, next across the line. P2 in Monza, P1 in Qatar, and he wants a good, hopefully good qualifying position here in Abu Dhabi. He comes to the line. It's only fourth fastest with a 22.8, so not the best from Ricky to start off his uh, weekend.
Yeah, absolutely not. Obviously, Ricky, I think, only did one lap last week in Qatar, and it was enough for pole. But clearly, he's decided to change up his qualifying tactics this week and set a lap earlier on in the session, which could benefit him. But I suppose we'll see how that falls out.
So, the only driver currently on a lap now is Sir Nathan Yu. Of course, had a little bit of internet problems at the start of the session, but now he's in and he's running, and he's a driver who's not going to put full focus in the league now after him joining the URC, but he does want to race every week and give it as best as he can. And as his teammate has set a fairly poor qualifying lap to start so far, we'll see what he has in store here on his first flying lap as he goes down the back straight now towards the end of sector 2. It's looking like it's going to be a 52.6 in the first or the middle sector, which isn't bad at all, and it's looking like he should be able to shoot himself up near that battle for the top 10.
Yeah, it's just a matter now of executing the final third sector. It seems to be, yeah, it seems to be the third sector that a lot of drivers are having issues with on this track, because it can be very understeery on the rear end of the car. But let's see what he converts it to. Looking like a 123, and yeah, he put himself P7. So as you were saying, Gaffo, his teammate there didn't set a great lap. He responds to that with a P7, a 23.2.
Yeah, very good lap there. Hyper has pretty much matched his time in the first and second sector. He's stayed out on the same set of tyres from his first run, and he's gone again. We'll see now, has he gained any bit of time? He hasn't. So he's managed, he nearly skimmed off there into the barriers, but he didn't gain any time in the final sector and comes back in. But he was pushing hard there towards the end. Just slowed down there come the end of the lap. So Quiet Boy, he's on a lap now at the moment, riding down the first DRS zone on this track, one of two, and probably the best overtaking opportunity down into the turn 6 and 7 chicane. And he, obviously last season's championship winner, looking to get a good lap time on the board and try and score some points. He's had a disappointing start to the season, of course. He's one of only a few drivers that's finished consistently, only one of 5 drivers that's finished in the points every single time this season, but not very good high points. A good result this week could potentially even put him up into the top 4 now that Brandon Clark is not racing this week. So we'll see what he has in store with his first lap here in Abu Dhabi. Of course, a race where he was on pole here this time last season. We'll see now what he has in offer and where he can put his car. It's going to be a 23.3, 9th fastest. And I'm very proud of my lap last night, because so far I'd be sitting P7 on the grid. So we'll see what the rest have in store as the laps go on.
Yeah, it's a good lap there by Quiet Boy, and I think what he's seeing is that a lot of faster drivers have come into Tier 1 this season. You know, last season he was at the top, out in front, and now there's a bunch of new guys that have come in and that are definitely, or have either improved or have just gotten really faster than him, you know. And yeah, he's up against the competition this season. Last season he was the competition. Now he has new competition ahead of him.
Yeah, I'm sorry I was a bit silent there. I had my mic on me. I'm eating a bit of Pringles here. I'm absolutely starving there after training. Orabeng is going to come around the final corner now. He's the last driver to set a lap. Goes again, middle of the pack, P9 with a 23.3. So let's see what drivers have to improve on. ST has gone a little bit quicker in the first sector. I don't think there's anyone else that are currently on a lap other than him. Caden actually is on a lap. He's gone again. He's only just started though. John Z Boy gone 3/10 up in the first sector, so that's really good from both McLarens, both up in their time, as ST is about a tenth and a bit up on his time. We'll see what he has now. It's probably this kind of slow speed section here now is where all the time can be gained if you get it spot on. We'll see what the McLaren driver has to offer. They've had a fairly decent start to the season, a very good result in Monza, but a very lackluster result in Qatar. Can they bounce back this weekend? Can ST at least shoot himself up into the top 10? Yes, he does at 23.1. Very good lap from him. And he goes 7th fastest. His teammate is up next.
Yeah, Johnsy boy needs an improvement here for sure. He needs to. That 124 is certainly not good enough for, well, tier 1 standards in my opinion. So I would imagine on that first lap he made a mistake and now he's gained a lot of time back. But let's see what he does in the final sector. 123.7. Not a massive improvement there.
Yep, as Caden was unable to improve on his lap, so he's abandoned that pretty much straight away and came into the pits. So it's going to be the next is going to be the Mercedes. Nathan Yu just starting a lap, followed by Tio. Then after that will come Shano, slightly up in his time, and then a 10th up on his time, goes 12th fastest. So after that, I think may come the Kick Sauber. That's of Hyper coming to the line. He's improved, and he's improved now by 3/10. Moves up onto the second row, so he's getting better every week, it seems, Hyper. And Kick Sauber really are a force to be reckoned with, as Leo goes even quicker with a 122.4, gets closer to Caden, but Caden still the time to beat, as Emstow goes even quicker again as with a 22.3. Yep. So at the moment, Caden still that benchmark from him is the one that everyone is chasing and struggling to beat at the moment. I think next across the line will be Jitter Archie, who's improving. We'll see what he can do. He just about keeps it in the track limits and improves up to P13, so not a bad lap from him, as Rafa goes 4th fastest with a 22.5.
Yeah, very decent lap there from Rafa. I haven't probably seen him this season. It must just be his debut, but that's a solid lap to start. I mean, Red Bull do need some decent performances. Obviously Brandon Clark has been providing that, but Rafa to come in and do that tonight, very solid lap so far, 22.5.
Yep, as Tio and Nathan both improve, and a very impressive lap. Obviously Tio and Rafa, 2 new drivers coming in, so there's no real expectation on them to do well, so if they do well, fair play to them. But what I'm interested in is Nathan, who a driver who apparently hasn't put much practice in this week, is absolutely schooling his teammate right now, nearly a second up on him and comfortably in the top 10. And of course the most difficult thing I think in Abu Dhabi is trying to get into the 122s, and he has done that with a 22.9. Very, very impressive lap, and I think he's going to be a very, very important driver for Mercedes this year. And once again, as we enter this kind of dull period in the session, we can talk about an event that will be happening finally now tomorrow in your own league of United Racing Championship.
Yeah, tomorrow is a big night. Obviously Silverstone. Oh my God, Jitter Archie just hit the wall.
I seen that there just as he was coming in.
What an interruption, Jitter Archie, you rude man. Yeah, URC is in Silverstone tomorrow night for the opening round of season 11. Gaffo, obviously you're in Jitter Archie's car tomorrow, so
hopefully I don't hit the pit wall. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, very looking forward to it, getting back racing in a bit more of a, I wouldn't say FA2 is not competitive, but a much more tougher environment compared to FA2. It's definitely not going to be fighting for race wins, but kind of back to the way it was originally for me in URC, where getting in and just doing the best I can. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as you said, it's one of those grids that look like they're really close. And in terms of the race winner, the podium, you just never know who's going to be on it. And that's exciting. There's no guaranteed, you look at Caden here, you could say, oh, he's definitely expected to be in the top 3. You look at the grid I think that URC has, you cannot predict it.
Yeah.
Maybe Hyper, but who else joins him?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a race-to-race basis on who's going to be there. Of course, I think if he gets himself sorted and is able to compete, but obviously if the likes of Nathan can really turn it on, you think Hyper with how well he's doing. Nathan only 3/10 off him, so he'll be thereabouts. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. But as much as we can look forward to that tomorrow, in the here and now, ST starting his final lap here, as he just finished his first sector there and now comes down to the turn 6 and 7 chicane. Does that very, very nicely and gets on the power early, trying to stay as close to this inside line as possible to pick the shortest line to turn 9, and he's 10.5 up on his time, so it's looking like it could be a chance here now to get into the top 8 and into the 122s. Again, it's all to play for in the final sector here, as it looks like his car is already derating here through this section. We'll have to see what he has. It's looking very, very clean so far, as he's about to come now through the penultimate corner now and then into the final corner where it can all go wrong, but he gets the car turned in well and to the line he goes. It's a 22.95. He's just got ahead of Nathan by 0.02 of a second, and he's up into P8. Next to cross the line, I think Caden he's still on a lap. Everyone else is just starting, I think. Is anyone else improving?
Caden Conway's improving. He was the 10th up
Caden,
in Sector 1 and 2/10 up in Sector 2. This is going to be maybe a 121 here if he nails the final sector.
Can we see a car get into the 121? I think the predicted pole time here is a 22 flat. What can Caden do maybe to do that and set pole on his full-time debut here in Formula Aero as he rounds the penultimate corner? A good lap here can shoot him right into the championship battle as he comes to the line. It's a 21.94. It's a stunning lap from Caden, and let's see which of the front runners can beat him, as Ricky will be the next of the front runners to cross the line. He's only going through the middle chicane now. We'll focus on anyone else who might be coming to the end of the lap. Hyper's just about to start his. It's one of the McLarens. That's Johnsy Boy. He's not. Phase Monkey's abandoned. ST, and then so it's going to be Ricky. Ricky will be the next driver to cross the line. I didn't see how much he's up on his time, so we're just going to have to see what he does here through the final sector. Our current championship leader still has a little bit of work to do now if he wants to stay as the championship leader. He's currently 6 places off his championship rival of M. Stowe. As he rounds the final corner here, it's not going to be anywhere near competitive enough, and he only will start 7th at best. Next across the line will be Leo. Leo struggling through there, and I think that's his lap abandoned. We'll see now, is he still pushing through the final corner? Is he still going to get any sort of improvement? Leo to the line, no improvement for him either. Next across the line will be M. Stowe. I think Rafa's invalidated. M. Stowe at 10th up on his time, so he needs a lot more time here in the final sector if he wants any chance of going onto pole. Hyper is also behind. I don't know how much he's improving by. We'll see what M. Stowe has here in the American Haas livery. To the line, it's very, very close, but he misses out by about 1/10 of a second. So after that, it's Hyper, who's 2/10 up and has a chance potentially to go on to the second row and maybe even jump his teammate. Hyper to the line now, foot to the floor, and it's a 22.3, and he goes third fastest. It's a Kick Sauber second row lockout, but it's Caden Conway on pole on his full-time debut, and the championship chaser M. Stowe lines up alongside him with the championship leader all the way down in 7th.
Yeah, that's going to be a difficult starting position for Ricky. I just don't think this is his track. I think we've seen his track in Monza and Qatar. He was pretty decent there. This is a whole different one for him, I think, and you can just see that. Like, he's behind the likes of Rafa, the 2 Red Bulls who have only just made their debuts tonight. So he'll feel that he's not got the most out of his car tonight, and he's starting in P7, which is going to be a bit of a crowded place to start on this track, because down into turn 1 it's narrow enough.
Yeah, nearly a second off pole position. So much work to do, but we'll see. There's no penalties on the grid. We're ready to go here for qualifying. or for the race straight away. So while in this loading screen, I'll ask you, what are your predictions for the race?
I think I'm going to back M Stowe to win this one. I think he's come so close to pole there. I think knowing Caden, he'll just bottle it somewhere and maybe lap 6 or 7, which is what like his typical fashion. I think then P2 will be Hyper, and P3 will be one of the Red Bulls.
Right, that's very interesting. I'm thinking more or less fairly similar to the top 3. I am also going to take Caden out of it, so he has everyone against him here at the moment, but I'm going to go Marcus Leopold to win, M Stowe in second, and I do think Ricky will recover. I think his race pace will be too strong, and I do believe he will finish third and continue his 100% podium record. So we'll see how it goes. Are we going to have 3 different race winners in 3 different races? We'll have to wait and see. The lights are going to be out next very, very shortly. As I just looked through the constructors there, and Aston Martin never got their reserves in time, so they're really struggling this year. 9th and 10th. 2 new Alpine drivers, I think, didn't do too bad. They're thereabouts near the top 10, so it's looking like they'll get their start. But here we go to 5 red lights for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go, and it's a great getaway from Caden. He's going to keep the lead, and M Stowe pulls in alongside and ghosts through Caden and is up into the lead of this race. So that's going to be very controversial. I don't know if Caden, what's happened to him at all. He's lost, is he in AI or something like that? He's lost so many places. He's down to P8. M Stowe leads from Hyper, then from Leo. Tio and Rafa make up the 4 and 5 with Ricky in 6. Nathan moving up to 7th, Quiet Boy and ST, and then Caden manages to get back in control of his car, rounding out the top 10. So your prediction was correct. Caden has completely bottled the start there, despite getting a really good getaway off the line.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Caden there, but he's lost, like, he's down to 15th. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Like, how has this happened? How has this happened? He's lost so many places. There had to be a disconnection issue there on lap 1, because you do not lose 15 positions before the end of lap 1, and he's down to almost last, Gaffo.
I think he must be in the pause menu or something, because it's looking like he's not even racing at all. He's lost all form of pace here in the opening lap. But here, we're not going to focus on that, as Hyper's around. Hyper has spun in the Latifi corner there of turn 14, and he's dropped all the way down alongside Caden there, so a big change up there. No, Caden must have... Why is he back in first? I think Caden has some sort of desync here, because...
Yeah, he does.
It says he's in last, but he's actually in first, because he set the fastest lap of the race there as they were coming across the line. So I'm not too sure. I hope that gets fixed. The race results, I don't know what the rest of the drivers are seeing, but it's, from our point of view, it's M Stowe, then Leo, and then Tio, with Ricky making a good start as well, getting by one of the Red Bulls, and he's up into P4.
Yeah, really solid recovery there by Ricky to come back there from P7 to P4. But yeah, obviously it must be a desync issue for the likes of Caden Conway, because the grid did, once he crossed the line, the grid went back to what we had in that order of M Stowe, Leo, and Tio. So it should just keep going back to what it is.
Well, we'll see now
lap.
We'll see now at the end of this lap, because it will tell us then if someone has set the fastest lap, and if it is M Stowe, then Caden has disconnected from the lobby, but I don't know if it says it's him right now. No, Caden's back in front. No, he's not. He's going to drop again, so I'm not too sure what's happened there at all. This is a complete bug in the lobby. I hope this does get fixed. He's back down to last again, so I don't know, is he in the lobby, is he not? This has almost completely ruined the start of this race.
Yeah, a lot of concerning questions I think going around on this one, but I think we'll know how to sort this out, Gaffo, after the race for sure. We know that where Caden is, he is last place. That is confirmed in terms of what we're seeing in front of us.
Shano picking up a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. I'd love to know where that corner cutting took place, because he somehow got that down into turn 5, which is strange enough. As Nathan Yu gets by Quiet Boy, them two having a little bit of a scrap there for P6. At the moment, the top 5 running cleanly out front. I'm not too sure what's going on, and I haven't been given any information to what's happened. So from the start, anyway, we've had, obviously it's saying Caden has lost out places. He's back up now front. Every single lap he goes back up to first, so I think we're just going to have to take it that he is there and hope that maybe gets sorted out later in the race.
Yeah.
Mr. Orabang, I think this could just be a broadcasting issue. I think we might I might just leave, and if you could invite me back and see if I can fix that.
Yeah, will do.
And then you can do the same. Yeah, I got that there. Because I'm assuming the drivers can see him, and it's just us broadcasting can't spectating.
So Caden has retired there now.
He has?
Yeah, so that probably might settle the issue.
I'm surprised, because he still would have been first, I'm pretty sure.
Leo and Emsto having a great battle here. They're side by side actually through the whole of Sector 3. I don't know how this is happening. This battle's incredible to watch. Yeah, and there's no sync problem. So that problem's fixed now, Gaff, for me. If you can hear that.
So he's back, is he or what?
No, the desync's gone. So it's all good now.
Is he still retired?
Emsto's up front.
Oh, so Caden did retire from the race. Right. So here we are. We're back racing. Caden, very unfortunate. Led from pole. Internet issue. He's out of the race. But this is the battle that's all going on here as Ricky's looking to go down the inside of the Red Bull into turn 6. I think we've joined just at the perfect time as Tio has to go over the curb there, but Ricky manages to do fairly well, and so does Tio manage to hold position. Leo's not going to be able to get by Stowe. He's going to go down the inside here into turn 9.
Yeah.
And he's looking like Stowe may just hang it around the outside. Ricky's got through. These two still side by side now on the run down towards turn 12. Stowe closes the door and manages to stay in front, but Ricky and Tio having a nice battle. The two Red Bulls getting off really well. I'd love to get them to a full-time seat as soon as I can.
Oh, Nathan nearly spun it.
Nathan,
oh, that was close. He was battling again with Quiet Boy there, and Johnsy Boy almost got past.
Track. Hyper making his recovery. He's up to P11. He's finally cleared that kind of third of, there's like almost 3 different battles going on. You can see the 3 different trains on the track between the front runners, the mid pack and the back of the field, with FaZe Monkey kind of in a league of his own there. He must have had a few problems there as well. As we'll see now, is I think the Red Bull is starting to fall a little bit behind the front too, but Leo is going to get another run here on Stowe down towards turn 6.
Well, let's see now if Leo gets it done. No, he's waiting for the next DRS opportunity, which is the smart play to do it. It's just a matter of now, can he get it done?
And if he looks in his rear view mirror, there's a raging Ferrari looking to get right behind him now as well. He's not close enough this time to get alongside the front five stay, as it looks like ST's had a problem. He's lost a couple of places there. I think he might have just gone wide out of 7, which very easy to do, and have an incident there, and he's obviously lost places on the exit there to Hyper and Jitter Archie, as it looks like Nathan has kind of fallen away from Johnsy Boy and Quiet Boy. Those two looking like finally they're going to pick up some good points there, and Quiet Boy, like I was saying, I think he has a possibility now to move up to P4 in the championship. So he's definitely still maybe not competing for the championship anymore, but he's definitely doing a very good job to be the best of the rest, almost like George Russell of this championship. So we'll have to see. Leo getting right onto the back of M Stowe here, down into turn 5, and he's gonna try and get the run on him down towards turn 6 yet again. He has kind of similar ERS, maybe a little bit more. He's not really burning it as much, but he's definitely trying to get as close as he can, and this chicane is going to be crucial. He kind of lifts going through. He's going to get try and get the nice wide run through there and get on the throttle as soon as he can, but M Stowe does very, very well, burning that ERS. Leo doesn't seem too interested to burn the ERS though, and he's still gaining on M Stowe, who's now, well, I think he's just harvesting by turning it off rather than below 10%, because I'm looking at his wheel here, he looks like he has around 50% there at the moment, so he's doing okay.
Yeah, so it looks like, as you said, that the packs here that are forming, we have a three-way up at the top between M Stowe, Leopold and Ricky, and then Theo is managing just about to keep up, but he's a little bit further back, and Rafa as well is keeping up. So this is actually more of a 5-way, I could say, and then Quiet Boy and Johnsy Boy were in their own battle, but Johnsy Boy decides to pit, and that will bring Hyper now up to P7 once he comes by this McLaren. So yeah, it's a very much spread out field at the moment, with Jitter Archie leading this pack.
Now, of course, we never really got to talk about this, but it was such an important thing, especially for myself on Monday night, and that is strategy around here. Now, I'm not too sure if you've done your research on the strategy around here, but Leo is obviously going for the 2-stop hard, medium, medium. So he'll look to get by the likes of M Stowe now soon enough and break away from him, as the medium tyre will definitely now start to wear. But I think the interesting thing is what, especially on the likes of today, is what tyre is going to be the best, or what strategy. As Leo looks down the inside here into turn 9, M Stowe trying to stick with it, but I think Leo's tyres are just in far better condition at the moment, and this time he will get by. M Stowe looking like he's still going to try and stick with it round the outside. Leo does very, very well, and lovely overtake from Leo. He's up into the lead of the race. So now, can he pull away on that better, hard tyre now as they head through the hotel section, and can he get a bit of a breakaway, because his strategy is probably one of the best strategies, and you'd expect the medium runners will go medium, and then hard, because that seemed to be one of the better strategies last night in terms of getting the best out of the hard tyre, because you have, if you use the hard tyre on your medium stint, unless you're going for the 1-stop, using that hard tyre on the middle stint, you have to go through tyre warm-up, and then you also have a lot of fuel still on board. So it's very, very hard to get any sort of performance out of that tyre. Whereas at least if you do put it on for the final stint, you do have less fuel in the car, and you can get a little bit of performance out of it, despite the really, really cold tyres at the start. Leo, of course, going for the hard tyres off the start, for the main reason that you don't have to go through that tyre warm-up at all without the formation lap. Those tyres are already at supreme temperature, so that's probably why he was able to keep it in such good, get such a good start, and unlike his teammate, get into that battle for the lead of the race. So he's gone from 4th into 1st, but as you can see, struggling to pull away here since taking the lead of the race.
Yeah, he's obviously getting into the clean air, and M Stowe following in the dirty air. The biggest assistance to the Haas is the DRS. I think it's just clearly obvious, and it could be a little bit of a pace difference between them. and the likes of Slipstream, and you're considering all these different alternatives as to what is helping M Stowe keep up. But we saw this last week in Qatar with the tyres. We saw that the mediums fell off very rapidly, the hards were the better tyre, and I think that's going to be the case for a lot of the tracks this season. But then again, it's just how they play out. But yeah, Leo does need to try and pull away from the Haas, because Ricky is making these mediums last, and we know how good he is at managing his tyres.
Yeah, and it's interesting to also see that the Red Bulls have dropped off, so it's like although they were very, very close behind the rest of the drivers, if you could try and get Shano back in there, although the two Red Bulls were very, very close, they weren't in any sort of battle. They weren't trying anything special to try and overtake, so they have dropped off. Now, I don't necessarily know if that's tactical or not, as M. Stowe goes down the inside of Leo and takes back the lead of the race, but Leo fighting back again as they bang tyres on the run now down towards turn 12. M. Stowe has the inside line and has the lead back yet again. Leo right on the back as Tio picks up a 3-second time penalty here, and that's going to be very costly for his race. Leo still right on the back of M. Stowe now, and just like I was saying with the Red Bulls, have they dropped off maybe intentionally to try and let these tyres go the distance, as Leo trying maybe to hang it around the outside of one? He thinks better of it. Rafa into the pits he goes, quiet boy up in the P5. So have they tried maybe, obviously Rafa has come in, but is maybe the likes of Tio going to try and hold on for a one stop? We'll have to wait and see, as Leo is going to get the run here on M. Stowe. Now on this straight, DRS active, although he probably has so much more speed and such an opportunity to overtake, I don't think he's ever going to try and do it here. M. Stowe taking a tight line here through 6 and 7. Leo right on the back, gets a very good exit. That's what he's got pretty much all this race. M. Stowe, he's got a great exit through that corner. We'll see what Leo has to offer. He's not going to go for it into turn 9, thinks better of it, and the front three still remain the front three, as Quiet Boy gets by Tio there, and that is an on-track overtake, very good overtake, and he's through, as there seems to be a yellow flag in sector 2. That's cleared fairly quickly. I think it was an incident possibly involving Nathan, but Quiet Boy making that overtake on track there on the hard tyres, getting by Tio. He's in a very good position, looking like potentially a top 5 finish and his best finish of the season, as I was wrong with the Red Bulls. They're not going to be able to go long. It's solely their tyres have just fallen off completely here on lap 12. But we'll see now, can they do 17 laps on a hard tyre? I think M. Stowe and the likes of Ricky are definitely going to try and do that as well, because they're holding up Leo, who should be pulling away on this medium tyre, or on this hard tyre I should say.
Leo's in a real predicament here, in the middle of this medium tyre sandwich, you could say. He's got M. Stowe in front of him, who he just can't get by, and with these two squabbling, they're just allowing Ricky to get as close as possible, and if one of these guys sneezes and makes a mistake, Ricky's going to go right through and say, thank you very much, I'm going to pull away now, with the clean air, because it's not helping Leo's tyres.
No. Yeah, and it looks like the likes of Ricky, it looks like he's driving almost like nonchalantly. He's not even trying to have any sort of great pace around here either. He's solely looking like he's just driving, just keeping those tyres in check, keeping alongside these, because Leo scrapping away with M. Stowe out front. But M. Stowe, I think he's happy enough to be where he is. Ricky is going to pull into the pits, and he is going to try the undercut, it seems. He's in, he gets the car slowed down in time. We'll see now. I'm sure M. Stowe will follow soon. Leo then will try and extend this hard tyre. If he's going to do the same strategy as these, he's going to have to try and extend this out to about lap 17, 18, maybe even 19. Right on the back of M. Stowe currently at the moment. Both with pretty much, Leo has 100% ERS at the moment. His management has been brilliant so far. So maybe
Yeah.
he's not too bothered with getting by him. As I say that, he blasts by him down in towards turn 6 there, and he is back into the lead of the race now. So this in-lap is critical for M. Stowe, and Leo, well, not doing him any favours whatsoever by holding him up and giving him the dirty air through Sector 3 now. So is M. Stowe going to pit this lap? And if so, has Ricky done enough? He hasn't come out in a great spot because both the Red Bulls have done an undercut. Now, of course, they're going to be on a different strategy. They're definitely on a 2-stop. They definitely won't bring their hards till the end. But of course, the 3 of them have all gone, if they are going for a 2-stop, they've gone with the hards in that middle stint. So this is where the hard tyre is probably at its worst. Because when
And
Leo
Stowe's
does
just
eventually...
boxed there now.
Yeah, so we'll see now, has Ricky done enough? The 2 Red Bulls definitely have. Johnsy Boy, he's extending. Quiet Boy is in. We'll see now what the Red Bulls have. And Ricky, who's behind, and he's struggling with that tyre warm-up at the moment. Hyper also, he'd have loved to have gotten out ahead of Ricky, but he still can potentially get out ahead of M. Stowe. M. Stowe coming out of the pits now. I think it's going to be very close between Ricky and M. Stowe. Ricky is through, M. Stowe right behind, and then comes Hyper. M. Stowe right on the back of Ricky here. They're going to have a little bit of a battle potentially in towards turn 5, and this is definitely going to suit Leo, currently out in front, if they do decide to scrap during their tyre warm-up.
Yeah, that's what he's definitely hoping for, these two to battle, and it looks like they will, but Ricky not getting past him just yet. Look at Hyper as well. Hyper could do a teammate mission here. He's on a medium tyre compound, which is going to be quicker in these next few laps. So if he can get past these two, we could be looking at a teammate job here again. The same way, he let Leopold past him last week in Qatar.
Oh, it looks like he was
makes
trying
contact with Ricky!
And he was sliding all over the place there. He managed to keep it. I think that was nearly like myself on Monday night. I think trying a move that just wasn't really
Jesus.
on. And he managed to stay, as I think someone spun out. It's Jitter Archie.
Yeah,
Jitter Archie spun out into the wall there.
Nathan's missing a front wing. I think there was a collision between the two.
Oh, he is as well. So that is going to be interesting. As Quiet Boy comes into the pits, he's gone for his hard tyre or medium tyre, so he's going for the 2-stop anyway. As Leo extends his lead out in front, Hyper, you'd hope to see, especially now that he has a penalty of 3 seconds, you'd hope to see that he can. Oh, as John's Boy is done there by M. Stowe, but you'd hope to see, as I was trying to get out, as Orabang retires in the pit lane, Hyper on a fresh medium would want to try and get by Ricky and M. Stowe and maybe do a job for her teammate, as you were saying. But does he have the pace? Does he have the patience? We'll have to see, because it looks like both of them are going to get
Oh, he nearly lost it again!
Yeah, another snap, and he's not really getting the exit at all, as we've seen there in turn 9 and just turn 7 there, as Ricky's going to go down the inside. Johnsy Boy isn't going to fight it. He's happy to be where he is at the moment, going long on his hard tyre stint. And Leo still cruising out in front because he's got Teal behind on a fresh hard, only gaining really about a few tenths a lap. So I think he's fairly happy at the moment in his position, and he'll try and extend this and potentially pull off the 1-stop and run away with this race.
Yeah, he just has to manage them. I can't remember last week if it was in Qatar he got the puncture.
No, it wouldn't have been. It would have been.
It wouldn't have been him, no.
Hyper, I think. No, he had a good finish. I think it would have been one of the Mercedes, but that they were going very long. I think.
Yeah.
Leo will be a bit smarter than that. He'll.
But even then, I think the danger is still relevant. Of course, I think if Leo pushes these tires too much, there is that element of pushing a tire too much. A puncture over here could be absolutely fatal to his race. So he's just got to see how much more of these laps he can get the tires out of, and then then make the call to box.
As Stowe there coming out of turn 7 got a very, very good exit, and this will be a fine move because he's really played the dummy there to Rafa, and he's dummied going round the outside, dives down the inside there of 9, and it's a fantastic overtake by Stowe, who is absolutely rapid there on those hard tyres. Rafa trying to come back in trying to come back at him, has the inside line pushing him wide, but Stowe has the better exit out of 12 into 13, and he's up into P3 as Leo does come into the pits on lap 7 and is going to try maybe and put the lads under pressure on that medium, see how much he's going to push or how much he won't. Stowe now who pitted into traffic, has to get by the Red Bulls. Leo will come out a good bit behind the rest of them, but you have to say, is he on an alternative strategy? Because it looks like he's even going to come out behind Quiet Boy at this rate. No, I think he just comes out ahead of him. So he now is 7 seconds off the lead. Now, I think I was around 7 seconds off the lead as well when I came into the pits, but of course that's not including drivers who had to pit again, and also not including drivers who were going long on their tyres. So I was probably only about 5 seconds off the lead when I came out of my first stint, got into the lead at the end of my second stint, and then eventually won the race, as Ricky looking to try and get by Rafa here and restoring his third place. Rafa doing really well to battle with this, and I think he may be able to hold out the position unlike he did on the last lap. Ricky's going to stick it down the inside though, and is not going to give up this fight easily, and does get up into P3, and probably a bit more experience in league racing. I don't know what their experience is, but Ricky has shown that there with a fantastic overtake, but it's still been an excellent run out for the Red Bulls so far.
Yeah, that move was critical for Ricky's race. I think if that Red Bull kept him behind any longer, then it would have been causing problems for him, so he needed to get by. And was there a bit of aggression in it? Absolutely. You have to be. You can't just be like Lando Norris and hold back forever on a move. You have to just have that Max Verstappen mentality and go for it. And Ricky had that there in him, because it's needed for the rest of this race. You can see Stowe out ahead. He's gotten past the Red Bull. He's not wasted any time to get past, and Ricky's done the exact same. So now he has to get past the second Red Bull, and this battle for the race win will come alive.
Yeah, and Leo obviously his teammate getting out of the way for him, and now has to overtake 4 cars to get anywhere near the lead. But of course, in only 1 lap there, that lead of 7 seconds to the leader is now 5 seconds, so he definitely has some pace in him. And so now we'll see what the two in front have, as Theo is currently right behind the Haas, and Ricky, I think, struggling to kind of catch up to Theo at the moment, because if you do think of it, although the Red Bulls did come in a lot early, or you'd think they came in a lot early, they only came in, like, Theo pulled off a very successful undercut there on Ricky, and he only has 1 lap older tyres and has a 1.5 second lead, so maybe things may spice up a bit. It's interesting to see now what Leo can do on those medium tyres. Is he pushing them that much? Is he going to wait till those hard tyres start kind of screaming out for the leaders? Is he just going to be kind of cruising along and not really pushing all too hard? We'll have to wait and see, as he's definitely taking the optimum line down the straight. We'll have to see now what he's like in the few laps to come, as FaZe Monkey had a bit of an incident there in the first sector, but that's cleared up. Still no sign of a safety car, which is good to know after the 2 races we've had.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pretty solid race so far. Yes, there's been some spins, some spun arounds, but nothing to cause a safety car, which is good to see so far. That the standards are keeping to a appropriate level in Tier 1. Obviously, I'm not sure how you saw them on Monday, Gaff, and I'm sure they've been addressed, but it's good to see that they're being upheld in the main tier.
Yep, as it looks like there, WTech Vinny getting by. There's a real scrap going on, and there's a spin between. I think there's contact between Vinny and Hyper there. It looked like Alpine had got into the points there for the first time this season, and that was very short-lived. And by short-lived, I mean by about 2 seconds. They had both dropped out and spun out, and Hyper will be so much work to do now in order to score high points for Kick Sauber, who have a bit of a battle going on for the constructors. Currently running in P3, but right along the two Ferraris, getting by Rafa there. If Leo can pick up potentially his first win of the season now later in this race, we'll see now 9 laps time. Kick Sauber should be able to pick home a lot of points.
He's got a breeze past him like he wasn't even there. That's incredible driving by Leo. I think if anyone maybe deserves this race win, it's probably Leo. He's executed the strategy so far perfectly. He's just got to lower that gap now to the Red Bull and Haas out in front. His tyres are in a really, really, really clinical period right now.
Yeah, that is definitely for sure. As Theo really struggling with the track limits here. That's his 6th warning, and he now has 6 seconds of penalty. So he's looking like, even with his 1.5 second gap to Ricky, he's not going to be able to hold on to any sort of podium. His teammate doing a lot better there in P5, and he may even have to start worrying about the likes of Quiet Boy if his tyres start to drop off a bit. But of course, these next few laps are going to be very interesting to see which of these drivers are going to pit for the second time. Everyone from John's boy down has pitted, as Jitter Archie has hit the wall, and it's a safety car.
Again.
He's done it again, just like the last time, and that is perfect for M. Stowe and Theo. But it'd be interesting to see, as Theo maybe gonna stay out on. Obviously, he's really nothing to gain here with his penalties, and is he gonna just not affect his teammate? Rafa looks to have backed off. He doesn't want to get affected by the 2-stop or the double stack. But yeah, it's Jitter Archie causing another safety car, and it's been a horrible start to the season for him. That's his 3rd DNF of the season, and his 2nd that resulted in a crash. But
Gaffo got some info for you. Sorry to cut across you, but Jitter Archie just said, "Cheers, Nathan, mate." So has there been a collision, I think, between the two that has caused that safety car? I think there has.
That's definitely going to be investigated after the race if Jitter reports it. Nathan coming out of the pits already with 6 seconds. It'll be interesting to see now, can Shano get himself back into the race? I'm assuming he won't pit, and he'll try and get round as quick as he can and get ahead of the leaders. It'll be interesting. He's going to really have to push to get ahead, though. I think he will. I think the leaders may slow down to let him by. You'd hope M. Stowe would, but I don't think he is. So Shano is lapped, and he's going to be lapped behind the leaders. So now all of them, apart from Theo, who's gone back onto another hard, it seems. And so has Ricky and Rafa. So they've gone with a harder allocation, 2 sets of hard tyres. So it's definitely in Leo. It's going to be Leo and M. Stowe who will battle till the end here, because those hard tyres, they'll struggle to get them warmed up, and they probably just won't have the out-and-out pace that the mediums will have, especially with such low fuel. I don't think, Hyper has gone very aggressive. He's gone soft tyres. So we'll see what he can do from 9th on the grid with a 3-second penalty. But it's also looking good maybe for the likes of Quiet Boy. If he really does have some sort of pace in him, this could be a chance to see him back on the podium for the first time since last season. But it's all to play for now in the last few moments of this race.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. It's as you said, Quiet Boy's in a very good position. Rafa as well in the Red Bull is in a great position. on those hards to potentially get on the podium if he gets past Ricky and Leo. Now, that's easier said than done, of course. These two are hungry for that race win. They're trying to get past M. Stowe. The person I'm scared of, Gaffer, is Hyper. He's on the softs. He's had this race go every way wrong for him. Are we going to see a level of aggression like no tomorrow from a man on the soft tyre?
Yeah, to be honest, I have no idea. Like, of course, I think that's the right decision to go on to, because although the soft tyre only really has about 2 laps of pure aggression here, those 2 laps will be extremely quick, and he'll probably have the opportunity to get by as many cars as he can in those 2 laps, and they shouldn't wear away as bad as they would at the start of the race. Obviously not as much fuel in the car, and of course we are under safety car for a while, so we can kind of manage those tyres ever so slightly before we get back underway, which I'm assuming will be the end of this lap, so we'll have about 6 laps of racing ahead of us.
Yeah, it's going to be really, sorry there, I was just checking something on my phone. It's going to be a very interesting last few laps. Once the safety car comes in, obviously we're waiting on, I believe that's Sir Nathan and Yari to catch up to the rest of the field, so it might be out for maybe another lap if they don't get a move on. But I think Theo is going to be a really powerful play here in the likes of being behind M. Stowe. He might, in his head, he's gotten on to lose by going for this race win on track or trying to take it to M. Stowe. So in this way, he's acting as something that will block Leo and Ricky from getting by. He's not going to give up the place for them. He has no reason to. There's nothing at stake for him. So he's going to go for the win just as much as they are. Yeah. So it's going to be a really, really interesting top 4 now for the last few laps. And the more he holds these 2 guys up, you know what that's going to do? It's going to allow Rafa to get closer, and maybe if the opportunity happens or opens up, he'll sneak past Ricky!
What's he done? I think
10-second penalty.
I think he clipped Leo. That may be removed come the end of the race, so I wouldn't say it's too big of a deal. Of course, he won't serve it. He won't serve it, so he won't be a big deal. But I was more interested to see. I think Stranger and Hyper have traded positions a few times there, and neither of them have picked up a penalty for it. So that's going to be interesting. W-Tech Vinny has picked up 2 penalties for a collision and has come into the pits to replace his front wing, so maybe he's struggling under the safety car, so that's unfortunate for him. But Ricky won't be winning anything, at least until after the report. I did see him there at the final corner. He nearly I think he did touch him, but he nearly completely wiped out Leo into turn 16 there. Nearly completely clipped his rear left tyre, so he got a bit lucky there. That he's only just got away with a penalty, and it'll be interesting to see, did he pick up any damage from that little bit of collision?
Yeah, it doesn't look like he did, but I think it was just a misjudgment maybe of Leo's position in front of him, and you know, you've got to leave a bit of a suitable gap to the car in front. Safety cars coming in. W-Tech 7 Vinny has not made the field.
Yeah, I think he will now, because he'll get down this straight, and this is where M. Stowe will try and hold up the field as much as he can, so he should be able to catch up here while they're going through the final sector. Of course, he's actually going to then have his tyres in such good positions, those pretty much fresh softs, as we have 5 laps of racing ahead of us, a little 5-lapper ready to go here. Yeah. And it's going to be the Haas on pole for this rolling start as Vinny does catch up to the field. We'll see when the Haas driver will go, as Quiet Boy picks up a 10-second time penalty for the same thing. There's a big gap there, I think, between Shano and the rest of them.
Rafa's done it as well.
And Rafa's also picked up a penalty, so that'll all be investigated after the race. We'll go racing on track here for the moment. The only penalty we'll focus on is Tio's 6 seconds at the moment. So M. Stowe leads with Tio in second. Leo right on the back of Tio already, getting right on the back of Jones Boy. Spun out. He's spun out at turn 1 and he is out of the race. Leo right on the back of Tio here at the moment. We'll see what he can do now as he's trying to get by him as soon as he can and take the battle to M. Stowe. M. Stowe looking for his second race win of the season. Leo looking for his first. As Leo's gone for it down the inside as they've collided and they've both gone off the track. Leo picks up a penalty for it.
Leo gets 3 seconds.
And Tio now under pressure from Ricky, who's right behind. M. Stowe looking behind, seeing all those penalties and is absolutely loving it. Ricky, he's going to try and stick with it and try and maybe get by Tio on track. Leo now does eventually get the place. That penalty will be looked at after the race. I'm sure he'll be reporting it, as it looks like he may have picked up a little bit of a warning there anyway for that little exceed.
Yeah, probably.
He is trying to now get as close as he can to M. Stowe, but his tyres may not be in as good condition as M. Stowe's, so we'll have to see now. There's 4 laps now remaining and DRS now available.
Yeah, I'd say there's going to be some harsh words exchanged between Leo and Tio after this race. I don't know what's going on in Ricky's cockpit. I'd say he's just as blown away as we are about that 10 seconds. Rafa, I think, he made contact with someone. Quiet Boy has a penalty. The biggest gain here from all this really could be ST. He has no penalties and the field is quite close, so if he can just keep up with them, he could get a really solid result, but it'll all come down to how he gets from here to lap 29.
Well, he's got by Nathan, and next on his row will be another Mercedes of Stranger. It's still been a decent race for the likes of Quiet Boy. Hyper, I think his softs have finally hit their peak. He'll start to fall away, but Leo right on the back of M. Stowe now, and they are racing. Eventually, I think they're going to just have to take it that they're racing for position at the moment. Leo definitely will be. He thinks if he gets by, he has the race won, as W Tech Finney's gone straight on there at turn 9, and it is a safety car. I'll have to look. We'll have to wait and see.
Surely not. Oh, Tio with a late pit entry. He was going in. He didn't commit to it, though. He came back out. So I don't know if there's a rule on that, but he had second thoughts about pitting. A lot of people are staying out. Stranger McD will pit, and Sir Nathan's going to pit. So both Mercedes will double stack this one. Yari's going to stay out to try and get into the points. It's going to be a very interesting last couple of laps. Another safety car.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. ST probably in a really good position. Both Mercedes coming back in now for another set. This time it's medium tyres, as Stranger McD must have completely forgot that he has to turn out of this pit lane. He's gone straight into the wall. I don't know whether that's intentional or just unforced error. Nathan didn't even get his wing changed when he went in there, so that's going to be very unfortunate because the safety car is going to be straight back in this lap. So we're going to get back under racing yet again. It's been a race full of controversy, and I am not looking forward to the report that's waiting for me. Safety car in this lap. The 5 drivers out in front are waiting. So many time penalties for safety car infringements, and it'll be interesting. I think I'll probably have to investigate M. Stowe's start to see was his restart breaking any sort of rules. Brandon's went down in Monza as no further investigation. He had a safe restart despite everyone behind causing kind of carnage themselves. Everyone just has to stay focused here as we're about to get back underway again. When is M. Stowe gonna go? He has only 2 laps to defend from the cars behind. We'll see now what he has in store
And he's
as
gone.
he goes around the final corner, and he's underway, and it's got a good gap on Leo already, and it looks like he won't have to worry about burning any ERS this lap as long as he's able to put a good sector together here. Leo, a snap of oversteer out of turn 1, and it looks like he's a bit too far behind M. Stowe here at the moment. We'll see now. Is he going to go for it the way he went for it on Tio, as he looks to have got a slight snap of oversteer again? That the kicks out are very snappy out of those slow speed corners. He's gaining on M. Stowe here already. He's not going to go for it just yet. He's going to get right onto the back of him though. He got it slowed down just in time, and he's going to now have a run down towards turn 9. We'll see now. He's burning all that ERS. He wants to try and get by him now, even though we have DRS available next lap. M. Stowe still has 50%, and what Leo was saying to me about his ERS management, or my ERS management on Monday night, I don't think his has been much better, because M. Stowe is saving very, very well, and Leo struggling to get by, and he has cars behind him putting him under pressure at the moment.
Yeah, I think Leo's tyres are falling off in courses. The 2 safety cars, they just haven't clicked for him. I think that collision with Tio has probably upsetted them a little bit as well. So I think Leo has had a bit of a mentality change, maybe a little bit more of an aggressive driving mentality in the last few laps, where at the start of the race he was more composed, more relaxed. It's a different scenario now at this stage of the race, and it's just going to give it to M. Stowe, because Tio is looking closer than he is to the Haas.
Yeah, well, I think the only person that's going to mess up this race for M. Stowe is M. Stowe himself, because not only does he have the gap, but he has a huge amount of ERS to burn. He's not even going to burn it, I don't think, on this lap. He's going to just burn it all down this back straight now. He just has to get the exit right here out of turn 7, which he does, and it's looking like, with controversy behind, it's been no controversy for the Haas driver today. It's been an absolute stunning race here as he goes through turn 9 and starts the final sector. Leo put up a fight. He was looking like the favourite to win probably before that first safety car came out, but M. Stowe has dealt with the pressure here, put on those medium tyres, and has drove into the distance. One of the only drivers on track with 0 time penalties at the moment, as he comes around the final corner for his 2nd win of the season, and it is M. Stowe to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Leo comes in 2nd with Tio in
ST
3rd, Ricky in 4th. ST, without his penalties, is on the podium currently. We'll see now later on what that has any impact on. Brilliant race from FaZe Monkey up to 6th, but of course Rafa, Ricky, they'll all have their penalties definitely looked at. I think Quiet Boy is the same, but at the moment that is our top 10, and we'll see what happens as Nathan thinks this is the final race, as he shows us a few donuts here at the end. But I have to say, fabulous race from the Swedish driver, and he retakes the lead of the championship.
Yeah, perfectly executed there by M. Stowe. I think it's exactly what he needed. I think just everything went well for him. I think in the right place, right time. For the likes of the drivers behind him, Leo, Ricky, it didn't quite click. And I think we saw that with Ricky in qualifying P7, obviously. I don't think he was going to be in contention for the race win with that pace on this track today. Leo, I feel kind of sorry for him. I think I said it a few laps ago, if anyone looked like deserving this race win, it was him, because he was just flying on a pair of medium tyres at one point, and unfortunately those 2 safety cars, I think, really threw it off for him.
Yep, definitely. He probably is absolutely gutted with that, but other than that, I think he's happy enough now with his P2. I'm sure he'll get that 3-second time penalty looked at, and that incident between himself and Tio may just be looked at in general, because if he maybe got by him a little bit easier, if Theo maybe withheld that position and allowed Leo to have a run on Emstow a little bit earlier, it could be a different story here. But Emstow, no one is going to take away that win from him. He was flawless today, and deservedly so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I don't think there's much else really to go through. Hopefully we get the final screen up here now, so I can 100% check what the gaps are. And then a brilliant. No, I am. Oh, that's absolutely terrible that I haven't been able to get access to that. Right. Well, it's not terrible. I still have gaps, but it's just gonna be a lot more awkward now. Yeah, that's it for round 3 here in Abu Dhabi. Be sure to join us tomorrow. Well, join Shamrock tomorrow night for the opening round of URC. That's going to be an absolutely epic race in Silverstone. But if you want more Formula Aero action, you'll have to wait until next Monday. We are in Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix next. Until then, I've been Gaffo. Shamrock alongside me. Do you have anything to say before we finish up?
Yeah, it was a great race. Obviously had its action up. It was a bit of a quiet race really, I think most of up until the safety cars, and then the action just came out of nowhere. So again, surprised, a lot of surprises happened, but yeah, very entertaining. And obviously lads, if any of you are watching this, I hope you'll come by tomorrow night to watch URC. It should be a very exciting race. The fact that it's a lot of unknown going into this season, I think just makes tomorrow night's race very exciting, and it hopefully will set up a very good championship. You can watch Gaffo set it on pole. There's the pressure, and if he doesn't do it, he'll bottle it.
I don't see any pressure on me. Tomorrow we'll see now. I haven't given anyone any info. I haven't done any time trials or anything like that. I don't even want to get into that. Just been practicing myself in Grand Prix, so we'll see how it all goes. But until then, this is the end of Formula Aero for this week, and the end of Formula Aero in Abu Dhabi for 2025. We will see you next week. Good night.